Hello Tutors, it's Gav and welcome to another one of my videos. Today it's a second look at some progress I've made on the Medieval Forge Miniatures 1 in 10 bust of a Soviet fighter pilot from 1943 to 1945. Oh, I'll be glad when I've only going to do a couple of these videos, keep saying all that, it's a mouthful. Right, we've done the fur, cautionary note. Can't find me stick, so let's use this cocktail stick. I've still got to put shading into this. I have done the fur. It's a bit of a lie. I've got to put more shading in the deepest crevices yet. I've just got to stick the head on roughly just to see what the shadow areas are going to look like. Might need a bit down here. I have done a bit, but it might need a bit more. That's our fur. It'll need probably some more shaded areas. I have put some in shade here, but it might need a bit more yet. And around these are throat mics, I believe, that they obviously attach around your throat to obviously when you're speaking. I said this is a bit precarious. I've not done a very good job at sticking this bust down to paint on it. Actually, I'm not continuously having to move it around. But I've put some texturing on the belts. The more shadows got to go into these areas. It's waiting for the other belt strap that goes along from there to there. However, I've miscalculated. Thought I'd make it fit slightly better. Cut some of the other strap off, and now I'm going to have to add a piece on to get it under the collar. So that's an extra bit of work I'm going to have to do. It's nothing to do with the kit, it's my own stupidity. Again, under the lights, let's see if we can put some shade on it. You see there is actually shading on there already. It's just these white lights are bleaching it out a bit. I've put some photographs on at the end, only 3 or 4 that I've done in a light box, a photographic box, so you can have a look at that better. But yeah, I've done some texturing on the straps itself. There is a very, very minimal bit of texturing on there, but if you want to bring it up higher, you're going to have to do it yourself. And the way you do that is just use neat paint, or that's how I've done it. It just gives you that slightly raised look to it. Obviously, keep your brushes moist. It will wreck your brushes if you're not careful. Just putting neat paint on all the time. So just keep it washed out every few blobs and start again. The hooks and the metal fittings, they're going to be like an aluminium colour. I've looked at some colour photographs and I couldn't 100% work out if it was like steel or aluminium. The ones I've seen, it looks like dulled flat aluminium to me. Now some were period photographs that have been colorized, so you've got to be a bit cautionary there. But a couple were actually, I don't know if they were after the war or what, but they were proper colour photographs that you could tell hadn't been retouched up, and they looked flat, either flat steel or flat aluminium. So I'm actually going to use some aircraft paint that I use on my model aircraft, which will match that exactly. And the mic here as well, that's still got to be worked on. That'll be like a dark brown, orangey brown. I've got to try and I might have to do an artistic license just to get it to stand out amongst all the other brown we've got there, but we'll see. So yeah, this is going to be flat aluminium. I'll probably be working on that tonight. Just have to be really careful because it's enamel that I'm going to be using on this part. And it'll probably be the same on here. But probably get you some shine here on the top here. So yeah, that's what we've done. I've done no extra work to the leather jacket at the moment. I want to wait till I've got those rear straps stuck on. The helmet itself. Let's get our guy's head. And I've been looking at some museum photographs, and it looks like it's exactly the same. Whether they've used the same photographs, I don't know, but this flying helmet, obviously they don't come as a pair, you know, you wouldn't, it's not like buying not that I've ever bought a suit, but it's like buying, you know, a suit off the rack or something. You know, you'd literally get a helmet, to flying helmet to fit and a jacket to fit, and they'd be completely different. The flying helmets I've seen in the museum, and it looks like Stanislav's painted it on the box art. It's a more blacky brown, and these, we can see the stitching here. These, the actual earpieces have got leather over them. You can see them pushing up the metal's pushing up the leather there. So I'll be doing that as well. There's some white metal fittings. A lot of these are white metal fittings on here, and white metal on the goggles as well. I'll probably I've just stuck this on at the moment just to keep him safe. It's obviously got to be reattached, and I'll heighten the pole that it's sat on to actually paint it. I'll start off though probably getting or after I've done the helmet, get the fur in, and the face will be the last bit, only because I'm just worried trying to get the fur. If I've already painted the face and I'm trying to paint the fur, I'm going to be splashing paint all over the face. But it's the goggles are my main worry, as I always said from the start. The face, it'll be what it'll be. You know, this is only my third bust, so it's not going to be anything like Stanislav's. There's a particular painter I really follow called Jason Zhao. He's not a professional painter, but I love his work and his realistic skin, if that makes sense. So I like to follow his way of doing things. So yeah, this strap here looks like it's like a grey colour, so that'll be a slightly different. And I've seen some photographs where the padding here around the goggles looks like it's rubber, and others where it almost looks like it's felt. So I was going to probably do it felt just to get some texture on there, but we'll see. So guys, thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look at this second update. As I say, there are a couple of photographs, you might be able to see the texturing better. It's just the lights bleaching the white out as usual. There's a couple of photographs on at the end. There's bits you'll see that I've still got to do. There's where this piece is here, there needs to be some leather paint, brown leather painted on there, and I believe there and a couple of other places. Deliberately left those because I wasn't sure where the one that I was going to mark it with the white of the strapping anyway, so I deliberately left those out. There's a couple of crevices I noticed. There's one bit showing through I've got to touch up, but no, I think the fur's gone along all right. It's again, it's not as good as the box art in a million years. Stanislav's got it really looking like a fur texture, where I think mine looks more like painted resin. but I quite like it. I'm quite happy with it, to be honest with you, for my level of skills. As I say, I do need to put some shadow areas in places. I've already put some in, but I might just need to go darker in some very deep recesses. The tunic I'm quite happy with. It's slightly greener than probably it would be in real life, but again, that's slightly a bit artistic. I've done texturing on there as best I can. Obviously this is all Vallejo brass that's then been painted over with different paints just to get the metallic look down slightly. I've left it more on the zip because that's obviously the shiny area that's constantly being worked, you know, up and down with the zip itself. So guys, thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look. I hope everything's going well with you, and we'll catch each other very soon on another video. Cheers.